Hi, my name is Garrett Laffler. Imagine this. You and a group of friends walk into a restaurant and look around for an open booth. You see many things. You see posters and memorabilia, a waitress taking orders, a family celebrating a birthday, and last but not least, the food that you came in there for. You finally seat yourself and wait for the waitress to come to you. During this time, you take a picture of your group and post it on Instagram so that way everyone knows what you are doing. You also take some time to reply to some text and Snapchats. Notifications are constantly going off. Julie liked your photo, Snapchat from Chris, new message from Philip, and these become your first priority. Even if you are in the middle of a conversation with another one of your group members, that vibration in your pocket will take all of your attention. Your mind says, I have to check my phone. What if I don't? And the conversation ends. Even when you are having a face-to-face conversation with someone else, your conversations on social media immediately become more important. Ever since the 1990s, social media has been shaping the world that we live in. Social media is a virtual tool that makes individuals communicate faster, share information by means of text, photos, or videos, and document their goals and interests for the public to see. Today, we live in a world that being able to communicate to anyone, anywhere, at any time is the easiest it has ever been. It also allows us to be a part of each other's lives no matter what the distance is between us. Social media has also made it possible for individuals to discuss important topics, widen their personal knowledge, and discover things that they never knew before. Even though the world has changed, not everything about social media is positive. In fact, some people would argue that it has done more bad than good. After doing a lot of research on the subject, I would have to agree with them. I feel like the conversations in today's world have changed in two ways: the quality and the quantity. Before the invention of social media, there were a less quantity of conversations, but the quality of the conversations were much greater. This was because back then, when you had a conversation, it was in person, not over a phone or a computer. Today, there are a greater amount of conversations, but the quality of the conversations has dropped drastically. Social media has made conversations less emotional and less personal. Of course, when social media was first created, it appeared as a beacon of hope towards the future. With new advancements in technology came new advancements in communication. Being able to reach someone from across the world was never thought of before. As communication gets faster and faster, the world gets smaller and smaller. Being able to reach a staggering 2,080,000,000 people at any time is shocking to most people. However, is reaching out to another person and having a conversation with them beneficial? One disadvantage social media has is its poor life communication between people. Unlike face-to-face communication, social media often leads to misinterpretation. An article by Forbes reported that a mother and her daughter have been exchanging texts. However, despite all the smiley emojis, the mother did not know that her daughter was suffering from severe bullying at school. It was only when her daughter committed suicide that the mother knew of her daughter being bullied. Thus, social media impairs our ability to pick up on body language, which allows for misinterpretation. In a study conducted by UCLA professor Albert Maharan, subjects listened to recordings of 9 words. 3 were designed to convey affinity: honey, thanks, and dear. 3 were meant to convey neutrality: oh, really, maybe. And 3 conveyed dislike: don't, terrible, and brute. The recordings of the speakers, the recordings were of speakers recording each word 3 times, each with a different tone: positive, neutral, and negative. His results were that every subject's response to each word was dependent more on the inflection of the voice than the connotation of the word itself. These studies led Dr. Maharan to devise a formula to describe how the mind determines meaning. He concluded that the interpretation of a message is 7% verbal, 38% vocal, and 55% visual. The conclusion was that 93% of communication is nonverbal in nature. With this train of thought, each posted and text you see, you only have a 7% chance of interpreting correctly. In an article by Louise Malgarat, she states that when we interact with others face-to-face, we are continuously processing wordless signals like facial expressions, tone of voice, gestures, body language, and eye contact. These nonverbal signals are the core of the conversation. We cannot understand the true meaning of a conversation if we do not have the ability to interpret these nonverbal signals. They enable us to infer the other person's intentions as well as how involved they are in the conversation, whether they are stressed or relaxed, if they are attracted to us, and so on. Nonverbal signals add a level of depth to the interaction, but remain constant and emotional effort. It's ironic that technological innovations meant to bring the world closer together have successfully allowed people to become their most awkward version of themselves. People find it hard to get in touch with their fellow humans, which I believe is the basic goal of social media. People don't seem concerned with substance anymore. Nothing is personal. Oftentimes, when we're behind a little screen, it's hard to remember that there is a live human on the receiving end. It's easy to spit fire, angry text, or leave hateful comments in the absence of emotional responses from other person. Social media turns people from outgoing and confident people to channeling their inner turtle and crawling into their shell around strangers. Of course, people go out, but it's almost a guarantee that their phone is never far away. It's a form of dependency. Even at a dinner table, it's not an uncommon sight to see everyone on their phones. We've just lost the ability to simply be present. Kelly Wallace, a journalist who reports for CNN, did a story about how social media does have its benefits. Teens have also shown that they can use social media to make their voices heard. After a Christian motivational speaker who believes debatable girls know how to shut up spoke at a high school in Richardson, Texas, students took to Twitter to express their outrage. Teenagers in today's society want to be able to see, for better or for worse, really quick action. Social media allows them to create positive, meaningful change quickly. Even though social media allows us to be more creative and positive, there are still certain things about it that make it harder to communicate in the real world. In an article by Mandy Edwards, she talks about how communication has changed because of social media with character limits especially. When Twitter and its 140 character limit were introduced, most of us questioned how we could put something meaningful across in 25 to 30 words. As we have adapted to Twitter and other social media networks, we have realized that the 140 character limit has actually pushed us to get to the core of what we are conveying. Even though this sounds like a major positive thing, it's not. Because we are so used to keeping things short and sweet, we are crippled when it comes to writing lengthy 7 to 10 page essays or 7 to 9 minute speeches. We go from getting our point across soon and then just looking for other facts to fill the space. So is having this power really worth it? Social networking affects lives and causes teens to grow up differently than how their older relatives have. They rely on their blogs and pages to communicate with people, keep up with the latest trends, and enjoy their separate little world. Social media has ruined how life should be: fun, adventurous, and exciting. Instead, it has turned most people into antisocial, short-spoken narcissists. There needs to be a break from social networking so people can once again live a real life in a real world. Thank you.